Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, cool. Now, how are we looking? Thought on Zara fragrances. I think they're amazing. Some of them could be good dupes, I assume. Um, where are we heading? Well, look. Good afternoon. We had a little move from yesterday. I was expecting more of a move, but the thing is, you see that a sell off happened. But what you guys need to understand, and what's really clear that I'm seeing more and more and more as it moves forward, is that these sell offs are becoming slower and slower and slower, right? And this sell off particularly is doing something that I'm going to show you guys. I just want to make sure that this is working. One second. All right, that is the way. All right, okay, cool. It's doing something particularly interesting that that a lot of people should be really interested in. To be honest, they should really be interested in the way this sell off has happened this time, because the sell off was not an elevator. The sell off was something completely different. The sell off was steps down, right? It's a step down sell off, and those type of sell offs usually indicate a real aggressive elevator up. Now I'm gonna show this to you in a second, so I really appreciate everyone being here, guys. Okay. Happy New Year to you and Sharon. Okay. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Wait, is it New Year yet? It's not New Year. It's tomorrow. But I really do appreciate everyone being here and taking their hard-earned breaks from their work and everything else and moving in that direction. It means a lot. I appreciate all the likes and everything else that's going on. And I appreciate all the shares as well. What stocks are you looking at this present moment? I'm not really looking at any stocks at this present moment, and I'm going to explain to you why. And this is the thing that I want to say, right? We are going to be coming into some extreme volatility in January. A lot of people are saying 2026 is going to be all good and all that kind of stuff, right? But I'm going to get into a few things that I want to. So first things first, let's look at some the graph indications and where we're looking at and which way we're moving, which way I think is going to be could be playing out. I still believe, by the way, and I want this to be clear. What was the bear flag? What was the bear flag? Is becoming an ascending triangle. Yeah, this ain't no, but this is not a bear flag, man. This is a sideways accumulation at this present moment. The bear flag aspect is gone. Right, a lot of people are pointing in that direction. I saw someone do this the other day, and it made me laugh so hard. I was like, you know, the more I am looking on X, the more I'm just like, how does anyone do anything from the information they get from that place? It's wild. It's wild. Someone did this the other day, right? I'm gonna show you 1 second. Let me just check out something. 1 second. 1 second. I want to show you something. This made me laugh so hard. Honestly, I was like laughing so hard today. I was like, oh my god. 1 second. Let's get this going here. Let me see if there's any. Honestly, I was like laughing on the laughing so hard today. Sorry, I'm hearing myself at the moment. I apologize. Is that working? Yes, it is. All right. Okay, cool. And is the X working? 1 second. Just want to make sure that everything is working before I go forward. Are we live on X as well? Can someone on X say something? Nope, no one's gonna say anything. Why not working? Okay, 1 second. Is this working as well? All right, let's see if this is working as well. No, I just want to see if the chat is coming up. Of course not. Fantastic. Why is the chat not working? 1 second, guys. All right, okay, it should work now. Now, cool. What I saw today was this. Someone put it on the 3-minute chart, right? Someone's showing a chart from the 3-minute, right? It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, right? It's the 3-minute chart. And he was like, I'm seeing Bart Simpsons everywhere. Everywhere there's a Bart Simpsons. Bart Simpson chart is on everywhere. What is going on? Look, Bart Simpson. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, Alright, you're laughing at my bag. It's not funny. Why am I laughing at your bag? I'm not laughing at your bag. Everyone's bag is down. That doesn't mean it's over, but I'm just saying, it's like, oh, look at this Bart. Look, there's a Bart Simpson there. There's a Bart Simpson here. Oh, look, Bart Simpson is there. Honestly, it's amazing. Like, it's absolutely hilarious out there at this present moment. Like, everyone is on a oh, I'm a pro now. This is the thing. Look, where we're going at this present moment is this. Right now, we're in a extremely tight range. That's what she said. And then that tight range that we're in is going to show some sort of movement up, right? Now, what's happening is that there is a battle between what I would suggest are the bears and the bulls, right? And the bears at this present moment are all market makers. It is not, in any sense of the word, any actual holder, long-term holder, medium long-term holder, the ones that are capitulating out of this market, it's gone, right? That's not there anymore. So what's happening right now is that there is a situation that's happening where the market is wholeheartedly looking into trying to break out of this range and at least test the upper levels, which I think is still going to happen. I think most probably it will hit the prior range and possibly test the 94.5 at minimum. At minimum, I think that's what's going to happen. But this isn't any type of advice. It's just my thoughts that are happening in the market. And the reason why I'm saying these type of things is a few things, right, that are going on. I want to what's going on here? Yeah, a few things that are going on. One thing, most importantly, that you guys need to understand is that if we look at the fair value of the fair value gap. Now, this is the true fair value gap, not the fair value gap that you see in, not the fair value gap that you see in the charts, where it's that gap between the level of liquidity and where your graph is. This is the actual fair value gap of Bitcoin itself. And if you look at it carefully, the actual fair value of Bitcoin is sitting at $95,000, right? And it is very convenient that fair value gap also corresponds with what you can describe as the prior range, right? I said 94.7, 95, and the fair value gap, the actual valuation of what Bitcoin should be right now is not where it's at, and it is above where we are. So if you're, correlating a whole bunch of information here, if you're trying to, why is this not? Oh yeah. If you look at the clear indication of where the value of Bitcoin should be to where it is, the valuation of where it is being undervalued of where it's at this point, so it's oversold heavily. At the point where it should at least come and test the prior range, I think this move up is a given. And this dry powder is going to end. These large wicks sell-offs that you see, this time is completely different. It's not what you or you normally can understand, because if you look at the lower time span here, this. Look, I want to show you something, and so you guys can understand. And I showed it in the pro group. If anyone wants to join, by the way, all the links are in the bio. You just have to go to the Learn by Alvarez, and it's there, right? What you see here, and this is the model that a lot of people are having to understand, is the sort of the ladder, the steps, and the elevator up, or the ladder, and or the ladder and the elevator down, right? At this present moment, we're getting the ladder down, right? And more importantly, what this ladder ends up developing is a chart structure that a lot of people know really well, easily know, right? What is going on with my mouse? What is going on with my mouse? 1 second, what is it? All right, that's what's going on here. And this usually, if you go to a bit larger time frame, right? This usually is this bull flag aspect that we start developing, right? So I'm expecting some form of a aggressive move up at some point, and it could possibly be tomorrow, right? It could possibly be tomorrow. And that's where we're going to. What was going? Okay. Bit when are we going up that ladder? No, it's the elevator up. Ladder down, elevator up, or ladder up and elevator down. That's what's been happening for a while. You see, like the ladder, elevator, the ladder down, elevator up. You see, ladder down, elevator up, and it works in the other way around as well, right? You can get a ladder up and elevator down as well. It can work. Ladder up, elevator down. Ladder up, elevator down. So at this present moment, I'm expecting the elevator to go up, right? I'm expecting this move going up very soon, and it could very well be tomorrow, right? This is the thing that I want to for everyone to understand. This is where I believe it's going to be going in there. But again, this ain't no advice, and I don't need anyone to be coming back to me and saying, "Oh, but you said this and that and everything else." More importantly, we're seeing something developing right underneath 2.98 on the total market cap. I will say this: the moment. And I mean, say this, right? The moment after a from where could Bitcoin reject, I'm going to get to that as well. I'm going to get to that. The Bart Simpson chart pattern up, then down, then up, then up. I'll show you what the Bart Simpson, Bread and Pepe, both are terrible at this present moment. Both are terrible, right? I'll show you what the Bart Simpson is. This is what the Bart Simpson is. I'll show you the Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson is this, right? And it comes here and it comes down, right? Usually people call the Bart Simpson at this point here because it goes up and then ladders down. That's what usually people see as a Bart Simpson model. But I don't know. We'll see. Now, this doesn't mean that there could not be a bit of a grab of liquidity further down here again. But I'm expecting this to go up, right? Even though we've produced a low high, but we produced a higher low. This means it is ramping up to have some form of an aggressive move up at some point. I'm expecting this to shoot up tomorrow, most probably, right? Most probably. But don't expect massive moves to happen because we are in full holiday period and we're actually expecting some form of, people are not going to be at their desks. They're not going to be playing around with the markets. This is going to be out of market. Think of it as if it was a weekend, but that level of weekend can actually cause a lot of growth in the markets at this present moment, right? That Bitcoin chart, man. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What? When you say up tomorrow, how much? I mean, we could at least test the prior range. It's possible. It is possible to go up to 94. I'm not joking. It is really, really possible to do that. That's that thing. But I'll say this as well, right? I'll say this as well. Both on the total market cap and on Bitcoin, right? There is a clear distinction, a clear area that it needs to pull through, right? And it's built up here. There is this level of liquidity. Let's not even do that. That's more of a, let's do this, right? Let's do that. There is this area of liquidity where the 89.5, I think, is the pivot point. If we can elevate it back up to this point and regain acceptance above the 89.5, this thing should start moving up, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, that's what this area here, both here and here, are areas of liquidity that is being grabbed by both the market makers and at the same time the actual spot buyers that are buying into this market. This is a fully institutional led move at this present moment, and it's not led by retail or any long-term holders. As I showed yesterday, if you guys watched the show yesterday, you guys have to come in every day to see this and move on from there. One question I have from you guys, right, though, were you guys alerted of my live out of curiosity? Was my live was it alerted at all, or did you guys see it from my post? But anyway, thank you so much for the 10,000 likes, 11,000 likes. Sorry. So this is where I'm thinking we're in this tight range that is going on. That it's that we have strong support here. To be honest, this support at this, I saw it because I followed it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I got notification thing because I got this your post on Telegram. Yeah, I don't know why TikTok is not posting my my lives for some reason. I don't know why. Whatever, it's all good. This is the situation. Thank you so much for the gifts, by the way. You guys are absolutely amazing. Now, where we are at this present moment is this: we're just bouncing within this range. But it's the thing I will say, and this is the thing that I always try to listen to everyone here. The longer this range sideways movement happens, the more aggressive the actual move will be. The longer it sort of plods up and down and it ranges in this tight range, that's what she said, we will get the larger movement. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think there's that aspect here. So at least the move up here, and possibly early into January, we could see a potential test of the weekly. I mean, it's a weekly. Here we go. The weekly support band, possibly around the 96 to even up to the 98, 100,000 level. It's possible. We'll see what happens, but I'm going level by level, range by range, and I'm thinking a potential test of the higher range first, and then possibly, I will say, depending on low time frame market structure, an aggressive short. I'm still wholeheartedly expecting a test of the 200-day moving average. Wholeheartedly. I think there is no emergency meeting today. That is just Twitter crap. Don't believe that. This is the thing. Joe, what did you ask? Say this again. What do you think about Athena? I've just picked it up and allocated it at my third largest position. Remember that question. I will get to picks at the end of what I'm going to be going through, and then we can start looking, and I'll give you my opinion there. So I do think that in the medium term, I think that we are going to come and test this 200-day EMA. And at that point, my personal movement, what I'm going to be doing right now, right at this point, I will be allocating a enormous amount of capital there. I mean, very large amount of capital. Because honestly, the way that we're moving at this present moment, the way that it's, and the thing is, the movement down here can potentially take 4 to 5 months. I'm telling you this. We could get this sort of up and down. This side movement can even last a couple of months. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just in understanding that this thing is going to be moving up, in my humble opinion, short term, at least the prior range, and then potentially up to the 100,000, and then slowly, I can't say that word, the B word. You know what I mean? Slowly come down and to this area. And at this point, you will most probably see a wick that will go below this liquidity range. And everyone will be saying, it is over. We're going down to, it's over. It's never again. Don't do this. And that will be the point where I'll be buying. I'll be buying a very large amount. Because I'll say this, right? We have had, and I would say that we're wholeheartedly in what is in bearish price action at this present moment. There's no way that this, I mean, it can happen. Don't get me wrong. We could potentially, I mean, if something insane happens and some crazy bullish news happens, we could see a push up, but I am having difficulty seeing that at this present moment. That's what I would say, right? Now, there is one thing you can look at. And I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show that to you in a second. There's one indicator you can look at that will show you when things are ready to move, right? And it's crazy that no one is talking about this. I know everyone says this, right? But in my lives, you know, the people that no one watches and watches these other people that keep saying, oh, you know, the RSI is on the bottom. The RSI is at the bottom. The RSI is at the bottom. That means we're going up. If the RSI is at the top, that means we're going down. Those type of conversations, whatever. They can enjoy that. They can go that. If that is what you need, it's all good. I'm here to give the real information and the alpha that a lot of people are looking for, right? Now, what I'm trying to say is this. Right? Right now, we are in a key point. But I will say this. We are currently, I'm going to look at something 1 second. Get rid of this. I'm going to show you something. All right. Right now, we look like there's going to be a bit of a movement up. And why I think there could be a real pullback soon. And I'm going to show you the text message I had with a banker friend of mine. Right? This is I've literally just copied it. I was like, all right, okay, I guess I'll just show them that. Right? This right now, and his institution is allocated into Bitcoin a lot, right? And he gives me a lot of signals and everything else like that. So you guys are welcome for being here, and I'm giving you this information. And I'm sure he won't mind me showing this to you, but this right now here, let me show this here. Let me show it right there. This is an actual message from him to me, right? And I said to him, I was like, look, do you think we're going to be moving up? I think that we could go up. And he goes, well, I don't expect fireworks, but there is a real possibility of what you're saying for it to move up. It's possible, right? But he said that I will tell you that the beginning of next year is going to be a bit crazy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, okay, let me just list them out to you. And here's a list. There's the Fed chair announcement. There's the Supreme Court tariff ruling. There is the Clarity Act markup. There's the SLR requirements update. There's the MSCI crypto stock index decision. There's the FOMC meeting and the government funding deadline. On top of that, there is the OPEX. There's large OPEX, and there is also tax loss selling. So when I say medium term, we're going to be seeing some form of a pullback. I'm thinking it's very possible, right? But I will also say, he also said this to me, right? He did also say, can you guys see this on the phone? Can I make it bigger? Can you see it like that? That's better, right? It's not as clear, but whatever. And the government shutdown might be happening. Maybe. It's a maybe. That's not confirmed. These are confirmed things that are going on, right? We're in full confirm mode. And the midterm elections. Oh yeah. It's great. It's great being a trader in this market, right? It's spectacular being a trader in this market, or just trying to navigate this insanity that we're sitting in. This is what is going on, and I'm reading and going, oh man. Look, all of these things are both potentially bearish, but also potentially bullish things. But these things are 100% guaranteed to stoke fear and uncertainty. And this is why you see crazy things like gold and silver and metals. I told you about copper as well. I invested into copper. Copper's going crazy as well. A few moves back. All of these things are all both bullish, and it causes fear, and a fear of one particular thing as well. Not only are markets not in a well-positioned place to move and have risk on asset allocation, that's why these sort of metals and gold and silver and all these kind of jab. I mean, look, where's silver at the moment? Let me just have a look. Look at this silver. I mean, silver it had a pullback and it is moving up as we think. If we get a lower high, though, I will tell you. I mean, if that settles as a lower high, this thing's going down, right? But for the time being, what's going on at this moment is that there is a clear 100% understanding that the market is risk off right now, and I can understand why, right? The market is fully risk off. It's not like something that people can be easily understand and be like, you know what, whatever, it's all, we can be risk on and move on from there. It's not in that way. But that's the situation. By the way, can you guys see this clearly? I'm just trying to adjust this new system that I've developed so I can actually stream this stuff. I just got the stream key after a year. A year. one wafer thin year. So the parabolic run is a thing of the past? No. No, I'm getting to that. This is medium term stuff. I will tell, in my humble opinion, most probably will be the actual real start of everything going crazy. We're talking about a scenario where we're sitting and coming off a non-euphoric high, right? We're on a non-euphoric high right now. We did an all-time high in Bitcoin and we didn't have euphoria. The last time that happened, right? The last time that happened was in 2019. The only time that has happened is in 2019. And what happened next? What was the next bull run? What happened in the next bull run? You see it here. This is the next bull run. We're talking order of magnitude higher and larger. This is what I would like everyone to understand. Order of magnitude movement. Because we're coming into a scenario, and I'm going to get to the point of where I'm going to get to very soon, right? Because there's one thing you guys need to look at, which will dictate to you, exactly what's going to be going on, right? I'm going to show it to you in a second. Let me just get rid of this. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, we talked about the government shutdown. I'll get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. All right. And is this, right? At this present moment, we're in, this conversation that people have where they say that there's no liquidity in this market, it's not working, or this going on in that way. Kramer is bearish is the best indicator. Yeah, they're definitely going up, right? There is liquidity. It's just there's no liquidity in our market. There's no liquidity in highly speculative assets. We're in the most speculative asset in the world. That's why when the gains that we can potentially get are so insane, as well at the same time is the losses we can do at the same time as well. That's why it's so difficult to be where we are in this market, right? But I will say this, and I'm going to show you the key thing right now. The time in which we will see. Why is this not working? Here we go. The moment we see something, let me readjust this so it can fit the page. All right. Does that fit? There we go. We need to understand this. You're going to ask about liquidity. Questions, guys can ask questions after I've done this thing, and we can talk about and have a nice little discussion about what's going on. The one thing that you need to look above everything else, the only indicator you need, the only thing that you can actually really point towards and understand if there is going to be a injection of liquidity, which will cause not only actual liquidity increasing in the market, but at the same time, you're going to be in a scenario where people who have liquidity on the sidelines are also going to be more willing to put it into risk on assets. And that is what's going to affect our market that we're in right now, right? That is the singular thing that you need to look at. And what is the Treasury General Account balance is what the Fed, the US government has to be able to either put into the market or take it out of the market, right? And I will say one thing to you guys, right? What's happening at this present moment is that we've had a bit of expenditure. We've had a bit of and it's coming in the form of the repo rates, right? Short-term lending, repo expenditures going, the billions of dollars that they're, that's not quantitative easing, but, jokies, it kind of is, right? What's happened in the past, since May, where we really started seeing a bit of difficulty in the market, since May, we've seen the government actually trying to increase the amount of liquidity it has in its bank account. Imagine it as the US bank account right now. That move up alongside quantitative tightening has created this extreme tightening of liquidity in the market. Not only is it extracting from the market, not giving enough to banks and other institutions to lend in, and at the same time doing quantitative tightening where there's other forms of liquidity that can't be accessed by loans to companies and this and the other to cause growth. But what this shows, right, is that there is a beginning of expenditure and a relaxing of the Treasury account balance at this present moment. This, once it starts getting towards these lower levels here, which we've seen before, where we've seen the massive moves, all of this this actual increased expenditure down is when, funnily enough, corresponds with exact moments of bull run movements. So we are at this stage where the government is going to start to inject, and it's looking like it's injecting money into the market, even though it's a short-term basis. But once you start to see this aggressively move down, that's what we need to be looking at. And I'll show you something else, right? I'll show you something else that you guys need to really understand, right? This also includes the amount of money that tariffs make, right? The amount of money that tariff takes in and it's put in, it also goes into here. Taxation goes into here. Everything goes into here. So the moment that we start seeing that money that's being rebuilt into their bank accounts starting to move out is when all of this industry will start to change. So watch this. You can watch it. It's super easy to find. You just go Treasury General Account Balance and just go and see it. There we go. That's it. That's all you need to look at. And once you start seeing this really get to this, when we're at these type of movements here, then you know that we're in a full-blown movement and money printing and liquidity and sentiment and everything will come back. Because right now, the Fed has taken enormous amount of money out of the system. Enormous. And excess liquidity is what makes our industry grow. That's the thing that you guys need to really, really understand and really get to get it clear in your mind. That's where you need to look at. And that is the singular indicator that you guys need to really, really understand. All right? That's it. That's the thing I wanted to show you guys to really to get a fathom on what's going on. Now, why are you not working, my friend? Hello? Give me that. There we go. All right, cool. Now, any questions? Any questions, and I'll get into to all this. Can I ask now about Athena? You know, I sometimes feel like I should just do this show and go through people's coins. Should I just do that? The Japanese carry trade. Look, what's happening? Look, what I'm more worried about is metals at the moment. What you need to understand is that the Japanese thing is an issue, but it's an issue that's known about, so it can be affected, right? It can be affected. It can be understood. Like what the problems happen is it's the problems where you can't see, that you can't actually fathom or gain or have an understanding of what's going on. If you can't see it, that's where the problem is. If you know about it, whatever, it's baked into the market. They know if they know it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, right? That's the thing. Bro, we cooked. Big players hold 10% of Bitcoin. Not really. That's not that's not a reason why we're cooked. Sometimes I wipe and it's like I'm wiping a market. It's true. That's my favorite line from what was that called? From I can't remember the show. Did I talk about Athena? When did I talk about Athena? Parks and Rec. That's true. Now, that's a situation where we are. All right, cool. Now, if you look at a few other things as well, as I said, total market cap has to break above the 2.98. You see how important it is. It's tried to break through several times before. Eventually, it will break through. It will break through eventually, right? We'll see what that happens, and we'll see what goes on from there, right? If we look at USDT dominance, to me, this is looking like we've produced a higher low. And a higher low aspect gives me the reason that this thing could have a potential test of these lower ranges around the 5.83. And that there could cause a lot, right? Even if we come down and test this area of liquidity that we have right now, which it looks like it's holding very, very strongly, right? I call it liquidity, but it's actually an area where people will sell. It kind of works inversely between USDT dominance and Bitcoin and various other assets and altcoins and everything else on that level. There's a level here seems very strong, the 6.18. It breaks that, and we will test the lower levels here, the 5.8 level. That movement from there to there is a huge amount of liquidity, and it will make everything go parabolic. In my humble opinion, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? That's my thing there. Any questions on the other channels at all? Just keep it consistent. What? It's the best you present the data and the important points, then go into people's questions. Just keep it consistent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's very kind. I just wanted to have an understanding of what people wanted, because everyone's just asking about their coins, and I think the other lives they just look at their things on that level. Do you believe if we hold altcoins, we will eventually recover in 6 to 12 months? Depends on the altcoins you're holding. When we look at the coins that we are, let me know, and we'll have a look at what those coins are, and we can move on from there. So you think it's an all-time high? So when do you think is all-time high? Oh, in what? Bitcoin? I think we have quite some time before we get to all-time high. The type of move I'm talking about right now, I think is wholeheartedly, at maximum, and I mean at maximum, to the right shoulder. I would say if it gets to 109, that would be miraculous. It would be unbelievable if it gets there. And at that point there, the amount of late longs that people will go in, the market makers will make billions of dollars shorting that thing. Like actual billions of dollars. That's all I will say, right? That's the situation where we are. All right, cool. Now, as I said, if you look at USDT dominance, it looks like it's about to roll over lower high. Although there's liquidity there, but sell orders sitting at that point. We break that 6.17 area, and we will be going down quite aggressively from that moment there. That's what I believe anyway. What are we looking at here? We're looking at Bitcoin dominance. It's holding quite strong here, but I think the way that it's holding and what we see, we call it as a strength to resistance flip, SR flip, looks like it's hitting these levels here, and we're going from there. I follow them shorting. I'm going to, if it gets to 109, I am shorting. Yeah. Oh yeah, you may not see me. I'll be shorting so hard, you may not even see me. That's how hard I'll be shorting. This is the thing. One thing I will ask you guys, do you think I should do this show a bit earlier? 104, I'm going to short. At every key level of resistance, I'm going to be shorting the absolute bejesus out of this. That's what I'm going to ask. Should I be doing the show a bit earlier? Because I got a feeling that I'm competing with other people that they want to go and listen to. I'm wondering what that is. I'm shorting now. Ooh, be careful about that. Be careful about that aspect. You know what I might do? I might add an earlier show just looking at people's coins. How about that? I might do that. I might sit and do an hour show where I would be doing around the 3 to 4 o'clock UK time, so we can hit the morning show in the US, and see can I just look at coins and stuff like that. Crypto King on in 15 minutes. Hurry up. Wait, Crypto King? What do you mean Crypto King is on 15 minutes? Where are you from, UK? Yeah, can you not tell by my thespian voice? I sound like Shakespeare. No? Okay, fair enough, whatever. I appreciate everyone joining. It means a lot that everyone is here. Wait, is Crypto King around? Wait, is he still streaming? Because if he's around, I'll just get off, because everyone will leave. Do the show while Trump is talking the facial expressions. What about Brett and Fat Cat? Fat Cat, at this present moment, we are developing a new utility, right? I can't say what it is yet. It's going to be a lot of work that's going on in the background. This is going to be the next movement in the coin. We are not gone anywhere. We are developing something that you guys will actually use. Hopefully, we'll see. It's a lot of work to go into it, a lot of money, and I'm funding all of that from my own pocket. 10% pump on the cat today. Yep, probably because of the utility that's working. That's why. Look, I want to say something about Fat Cat, right? And this is the thing that people, everything is down, right? Every, I mean, everything is down. You pick one, pick anything, and everything is down. Anything that survives this moment here will be a king in the next movement, in the next level of liquidity that comes in. That's all I will say. That's my only thing that I will talk about. Ty, what's the name of the coin, please? Aris, king sign in purple sign. Oh, I will do that. All right. Aris, I'm holding a big bag of 5 to 6 altcoins and I'm down about 50% and I'm fed up. Yeah, that's called capitulation, man. You're on the verge of selling at a loss to leave the market. But I'll ask this question to you, right? User that number behind you. The coins that you have, it'd be good for you if you list them firstly, but I will say this, right? The coins that you have that's sitting there, is what's in there something that you have high conviction on, or is it something where and is it something that you can wait 6 to 8 months to see whether there's going to be a further movement on it? Because where everything is at the moment, like, they're all extremely down. Look, don't get me wrong, it can go down more, but this is the aspect of the game, right? This is the thing that I would say. I'm curious to see what coins you're holding. Even the Dino coins are down big time. Remember October? Yeah. Everything is down. Everything. There was a mass extraction of liquidity from the market. So I'm not surprised at that point, right? Okay, now let's look at something else. If we look at the S&P 500 at this present moment, we're sitting in a very interesting place, right? I still cannot believe that. Can you say your opinion? I'm going to get to it, man. Joe, I'm going to get to it. Unless there's another show you want to go, maybe go and check out the other show and then come back. I'll get to it. I want there's a whole lot of people here now. I will get to everyone's questions, right? This number that the bank told me, the 6,900 sitting at this point is wild, by the way. But at that point here, it looks like we've produced a higher low, right? This break of this key level, the 6,910, that level there, that break of that level there is huge, right? 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. There's something going on. That's that thing. So this thing should continue on upwards. At maximum, I think we could go and test possibly the 6,840. There is a chance that we can go and test that area, but I think that will be the area where we will move up from there quite aggressively, right? Please look at all the coins, please. I will do. I will look at the coins. I feel like I shouldn't do this. People are not. I know, whatever. I'm just gonna go through it. You guys can like it or not, right? Right, there we go. Now, why not working? One area of interesting aspect that we need to keep an eye on as well is the 10-year treasury rates, right? We're consolidating underneath an area where this should start to really move back down now, right? This should start to gain a more of a healthy acceptance towards the 3.8 to 3.9 area. That's what I'm expecting, especially as the dollar is starting to lose value from that move on from there, right? What are you holding? You're holding SOLD, SNX, XLM, ADA, Link, Tau. That's all right. I wouldn't say that they're terrible coins, not at all. I mean, I think at this present moment, like, all those coins are extremely down. They're extremely down. I mean, I'm adding. Like, I'm doing something called averaging down. Like, I'm not saying that you guys should or anyone should do anything on that level, but averaging down is where you work in a triangle model, right? In this way, like that. That's what averaging down is, right? You buy a little here and you increase the amount that you get as you go down further. and your average becomes a good price, a good entry price accordingly, and it helps you figure out the best price to get in on a token. After the bear market, 2028 is going to be great. No, I think the end of this year is going to be insane, and I think 2028 is going to be very bad. I think 2028 is going to be diabolical. I'm being serious, because what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen is this: you're going to get aggressive rate cutting going on, right? Super aggressive rate cuts going on. At the same time, you're gonna get a new Fed chair coming in, which is gonna cut even more and possibly fueling more money in the form of quantitative easing in some form, right? On top of that, I'm pretty sure that the Donald Trump is gonna do something with this tariff money. He hasn't done anything with the tariff income yet. Nothing has been done with that money yet. So that's going to be another fuel injection into the market, right? That injection is going to come into the market again. And that injection is only going to cause one thing, right? Actually, two things. Short-term, amazing things for our market. Oh my God, we are going to see movements that we've never seen. People who are they're in their first cycle right now are going to see movements like they have never seen in their life. Then we will come into a period of unbelievable inflation. I have zero thought that Donald Trump thinks any way longer than his period in office. That's it. I think his period of office is going to be his Hail Mary. Everything's going to go crazy and be like, look, the biggest growth in history. And at the same time, we'll go from there. Have you looked at USDT? Oh, we are in multi-year resistance. USDT dominance. Yeah. I know we're at multi-year resistance, and it looks like we're about to look at the monthly. I know it looks like we're going to have we could potentially have a dip down, right? Potentially have a rollover here. Although eventually, I think we'll be getting up to the 8% mark. That's what I think. Eventually. First it was .com pop, then it was NFT pop, then crypto has gone pop. Maybe 2030 will have nothing's gone pop. No, we're just in a cycle, man. This is not something that's anything unknown. If it's a first cycle, yeah, I guess you can think of it that way. But right now, nothing on that level. So May will be all-time high. No, I think May will be the real start of everything. I think May will start seeing real movement in the market. You have to. What I will say is this, right? This is my analysis of what's going to happen. I think we're going to do something like this. We will come and test one of these ranges, right? Either 94 and move down from there. Now in May. What? Either we'll test this prior range, possibly the 98 to 100,000, and if things get really good, possibly all the way up to 109, right? And then from that moment on, I think we will slowly go down and test between the sort of the 94,000 to around the 97,000, around that level. That's all I will say. Around these levels in between will be a period where it will probably go down, and at that area there I'll be allocating a large amount of money, and here I think will be the bottom. Around this level will be the bottom of this market, and then once the liquidity starts barreling into the market, it will start growing from there. And the thing is this, right? And I did a video about it, and I wanted everyone to understand this aspect as well. When liquidity comes into this market, it's going to be quick, sharp, and fast. That's what she said. That's what I said in the video as well. You guys should go and check my videos and put the bell on my icons on my videos as well, so you can hear them. They're only there for your benefit. I'm doing this so you guys can actually understand and gain some knowledge on what I'm understanding. And I look at things differently and have knowledge of things that people don't usually get, right? But this is the thing. This is what I will say. At this present moment, that's where we are, and that's where I think is going to be happening. Now, that doesn't mean things can go completely differently as well. This is just my opinion. This is what I think, and you guys should make your own analysis and move on from there. But I think something on that level is going to be happening, and that's how I'm going to be playing it. If you guys want to do the same, please do so. If don't, then that's the way things are moving on that side. Now, one area that I'm thinking. is a very interesting long-term play that's coming out. It's still Ethereum. Ethereum is looking really good at the moment. Like really, really good, right? And I'll say this, right? I want to show this thing to you. It is a really interesting graph, right? That most people won't show you, but I'm going to show you anyway, whatever. Right now, if Ethereum, so you understand it. So just look at this graph here. If Ethereum hits 3,500, and I'm not saying it's going to, but say if it does, right? $5 billion worth of ETH longs will be liquidated. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not. And the sheer increase, especially if you look at this, right? Especially if you look at this, right? Let me show you something. Especially if you also analyze that as well, right? If you put these two things together that you see here, this is the liquidation map of Ethereum, where it shows that if it gets to the 3,500 point, right? Was it 3,500? 3,500, 3,000. Yeah, say 3,500. If it gets to that level, there would be over $4 billion worth of shorts disappearing. And at the same time, we're also getting the first indication that the input to output of staking on Ethereum, due to all of the new upgrades it's done, is flipped. So there are more people staking than those that are putting into staking on Ethereum than taking out. Those metrics for any chain, and I mean any chain whatsoever, is massively bullish. The key indicator of how successful a chain is its TVL, the amount total locked value. And if this is going on, if we're seeing that there is a flip of input to output and staking, which is the highest form of TVL a project can get, this is insane. And I honestly, I'm also heavily averaging down on Ethereum, heavily. And with the level of support that it holds at this area here, in this box at this period here, between the 2916 and the 2887, I'm expecting this thing to potentially test the prior range high, especially if Bitcoin starts to move in that direction. And if it does that, it's going to be wild. This is my humble opinion in this market as we're sitting right now. This is where I'm thinking things are going in that way. I bought a silver today, physical though. Yeah, you can do that if you want to. I have both. I mean, I've been buying gold. I have physical gold. I have, actual gold. Should I show you where I bought gold? Gold has genuinely been, right, possibly the most insane purchase of my whole entire life. Genuinely insane. This is the price I bought gold. And I can't tell you exactly what I have. I can't give you details. But I will say this, right? I'll give you the indicate. I sold the property and I didn't want to keep it in stables because I can't. I have that problem, right? Where I can't. What's this? 1 second. I need to prove that I'm human. There we go. Done. All right. I proved that I'm human. I sold the property and I didn't want to keep it in stables because I know it's inflation and it'll disappear and it's a secret tax, right? So I was like, okay, there's an account that you can actually buy physical gold, and it's a bank account where it holds it as gold. So as the value goes up, it goes, and it gives you, just so you understand. I mean, it's pure luck. I'm not saying that it's pure luck, right? And it gives you interest in the form of gold. So it gives you a certain grammage of interest according to what you have. If I was to say, I am up at levels that I cannot explain to you. I am so up, right? And this is the thing, like, this isn't even like my biggest sort of, investments I have, like much larger investments that I have. But this is done very well. This is done very well. Like, more than I expected. It's always the ones I was just like, all right, whatever, man. But that's the thing, right? That's how it works. That's why people put this is why what's happening right now. Also, let's just be careful as well, right? There is still some level of speculation that's going on in this level, right? There is some level of speculation that's moving in these markets at this present moment at crazy price valuations. I think gold will hold strong, because the reason why gold is doing so well at this present moment is because there is a complete lack of confidence in the dollar, not because of its value or its security or anything on that level. It's partly because of countries that are, how best to say this, not too friendly with the USA. Do you know what I mean? Because after what happened in the issue in Europe, right? That and their ability to be able to extract what the dollar and what they held in dollar really aggressively, that made people scared. Why would they hold a reserve that's in the dollar when they can have something such as gold and hold it that way? That's why gold is doing this. Everything other than that is speculative. I want everyone to understand this. Everything other than gold is speculative. What's happening at this moment is this makes sense. Silver, on the other hand, all right? Don't get me wrong. I like silver. Silver's amazing. Everyone's doing absolutely amazing in silver. But when you see, you know where my top signal on silver was? I'll show you my top signal on silver was, right? Just I'll do a bit of an exercise with you guys, right? Just go on to X. And when you see the meme coin shillers talk about silver, I'm like, I am not buying this. I am not buying this thing ever. The biggest top signal you could ever see is the S coin shillers shouting about silver's going to $3,000. All right, if someone is saying that, I'm selling. Right, I am buying this thing. There's no way I'm doing it. This is what people. And when you see people queuing around the corner, going, "Oh yeah," so someone said today, right? Someone said today that I'm. Someone said today that they're going to all the jewelry shops to buy up silver, and I'm just like, are you mad? Is everyone nuts at this present moment? What is going on? Like, why are you going to shops to buy silver, man? It's like, I'm gonna buy all the rings, bruv. I was like, what the? It's like, I'm gonna make some money. I was like, bro, if it God, it's so stupid. Like, everything's so stupid. Everything has become a meme coin right now. I can see why meme coins are so lucrative and interesting, because it can really bring this drive. But the problem with meme coins and this is that meme coins, you could actually make a 40x on it. I'm not seeing a 40x on this thing. To make double your money on silver, it needs to get double in market cap. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? I'm telling you. I just want to say something, man. Silver's been in accumulation mode for 50 years, bruv. All right? If this thing hits $150, they are all all of them are selling that. All of them. We're talking trillions of dollars. Are you out of your mind? You're out of your mind. This is completely speculative. There's got no comparison between gold and silver, and there's copper as well, man. Okay, all right. Okay. I'm looking for Christmas gifts, right? And there's this. Anyway, it's this whatever. It's this sort of sentimental thing. I'm getting my I'm not Christmas, New Year's gifts, right? In it doesn't matter, right? So we're going to someone's house and there's a sentimental gift that I'm trying to get from eBay, and I bought it and it's come, right? That's why I was on eBay. I'm looking around, and there are people on eBay showing bricks of copper that they're selling. It's gone crazy. You know it's gone crazy when you're seeing eBay sellers showing bricks of copper, right? You know, the bricks of copper that they're selling for 15 quid at the moment. And I'm just like, this is, if you've ever seen a top signal, is this, right? And at the same time, if you've ever seen a signal that the market, there is a problem in this market, it is this. People are looking for safe havens in areas which they shouldn't be. Really? I can get a lot of copper. Cryptus, man. eBay. I'm telling you, just go to eBay and write copper, and you will see these guys literally have pictures of copper bars in safes. In safes, as if it's like, Fort Knox. Copper is literally one of the most abundant metals in the world, right? You're talking about something that has enormous amount of supply, right? There's going to be an insane supply shock of this thing when it happens. Are you guys crazy? It's honestly, why do you think a copper was 15 cents 10 years ago? Because there's a billion amount. Why is everyone buying copper now? Honestly, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is what I mean. This is the situation of where it is. Liquidity is looking for safe haven right now, and people don't get it. I did this. That saying I did on my video, which you guys should watch. That saying that people said it comes from a friend of mine, right? Where it goes, when gold is rallying, it's a caution. When silver follows, there's fear, and when every other metal follows, there is a serious problem in the market. People do not want to put their money or their liquidity into anything other than on assets that are supposedly supposed to protect their wealth. This is it. This is the situation. This is what's going on. Marcus, when you say I disagree, man, silver's demand is way higher than supply. Right. Why then did this not pump a year ago? Why? This is the question you need to ask yourself. Why is it rallying now? Why? And then why is all other metals rallying off this? Why? It's speculation. That's it. Speculation. People are speculating that they're going. Think of this as the Trump coin. Think of this as my cleaner when the Trump coin launched, and my cleaner said, have you heard of Trump coin? And I was like, what did you just say to me? Not like XRP or like Solana or Ethereum or even Bitcoin. Did you hear that Donald Trump launched a meme coin? Should I buy some? And I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? And what did that prove to be? What did that prove to be? That potentially proved to be the actual top signal of this market. A massive liquidity extraction from this market. Like, retail is not here at the moment. Retail is in full fear because there's been so much extraction of liquidity from them. JP Morgan was shorting silver, and they have a bunch, and they're now long. Yeah, but that means that the market will probably go down. Think of it this way, books, right? When these institutions show you what they're doing, believe me, they're doing the opposite. All right, I need to. TikTok doesn't. 1 second. Sorry. They're probably doing the opposite. Have you heard anything about the major bank possibility collapsing? Their rumors. Yeah, it's rumors. Whatever. Retail not here because they bought Trump coin and lost everything. Yes, basically that's what's going on. They're taking advantage of the situation and will switch in a pitch. Oh yeah. Oh. Look, you think silver is the most conductive metal on Earth? Think solar, electric. Yeah, but solar, electric cars, data centers, batteries, all of that was last year, not this year. Think of it that way. Think of every country right now that is moving away from electric cars. Look at England. Look at the USA. Look at Europe. They're all moving away from electric cars. England brought a tax onto electric cars per mile. They don't have that in... this is the thing you need to understand. Look, of all of these metals, silver is the one that I could understand having some movement. But I'm telling you 20 to 30 to 40% of this move is fully speculative. Fully. I said this last time on my live as well. I'll ask you this question, right? You have two things. You're equating the two together, gold and silver, because they both have a intrinsic value. People look if they're equating the two together. What is the equivalent of gold? Platinum, for example. Platinum is rarer and more expensive. Why is platinum not what gold is? Because gold is a understanding of a store of value. Silver right now is only pumping because firstly, gold is pumping, and secondly, because it's a speculative asset. If another something comes on, say something nanotube, titanium nanotubes or carbon fiber, whatever comes out, something that will elevate the conductiveness of something, right? Silver will go back to its level, to its lowest level, instantly. But gold will not do that. Gold will only start to pull back is if security comes back into the world, inflation starts going down, and there are other assets that give a better return than that of what will only hold the value of their currency. That's it. That's the fundamental difference between these two assets. And I'm not saying don't go into silver, by all means. But I'm a believer of going into something before everyone is talking about it. This is the thing. Hello, Mario. How you doing, my man? This is the thing that everyone should hopefully have learned the most. Learn aggressively in this. Hello, Nan. Hello, Mario. Hello, everyone. Hello, and all the new people that are here. Everyone, this is the thing that everyone should have learned aggressively in this non euphoria high bull run. You don't do anything, right? You don't enter when everyone is talking about it. You want to be there before. You want to be moving, you want to be in a scenario or an area before the liquidity comes. This is what you need to understand. That's why I say to everyone, and I know everyone is tired of this industry and this, that, and the other, right? But if our industry, Bitcoin goes down to the 67 to the 70, even if it gets to 75 or wherever around that level, right? That there is insane discount. Insane. Because no one's looking at it. No one is looking. You look at, why is everyone caring about silver here and not down here? Not when it was $34. Or down here when it was $24. If someone said, oh, buy this thing, it's going to go crazy. What are you talking about? And then someone held it for literally 10 years, 50 years. There are people that have held this thing since 2013, all the way back from 2010, since all these things happened, right? This is the thing. You have to position yourself before liquidity. Otherwise, you will be liquidity for people exiting in any market that you can think of. Here we go. When silver went to $57 in 1980, the trillions of dollars weren't in the market yet. Yes, they were. Yes, there were. All of this movement is because there's fear in the market. Right now, that's it. Do you think brass will shoot up? I think at this present moment, I think you're selling the wires in my yeah, at this present moment, I'm selling the wires, my old iPhone wires, man. I think I'm gonna get rich from there. I'm collecting them up. I wouldn't. Now, speculation is a market mover. That is the reason why it's moving. Speculation is a key factor of market movement in 100% of the cases. Sometimes it's moving because of good earning calls as well. Sometimes it could be bullish news. It can be other thing, but it all has a level of speculation to it. But I'm just saying that the factor between gold and silver is that gold is a store of value and silver is speculation. I just find that when you see meme coin shillers start saying gold, bro, I'm collecting silver everywhere I can. I'm just like, God damn, man. I'm saving my Heinz beans cans, man. What are you talking about? It's a bit smelly at the moment, but it's gonna be worth it, bro. I got 5 tons in my garage right now. I'm gonna get some bean money. My bean can money is coming, bruv. I'm super long on bean cans right now. Yeah, but Taylor, from there to, from now, there's the level of inflation and growth and expenditure in the market is a completely different situation right now. $1 trillion back in 1980 was an insane amount of money. And growth wasn't built on debt. It was built on actual growth. How long the run will last? I think the next run from May on will be actually a longer one, a year-long run. That's what I'm expecting. Right. Look now, let's look at some of your coins, and then I can head off and you know, do my own things. You know what I'm saying, Biff? Stratos. All right. What's the ticker for Stratos? Oh God, here's the weird what's Canton Network, man? Okay. Can you hear the quality of the keyboard? Stratos. What is Stratos? What you want me to do with this? That is a bruh. Like, I mean, look, technically, we are at level of liquidity here, and you could potentially say we're in some sort of, like, you know, bull flag ish scenario. Maybe that, right? Bull flag scenario where we could see some sort of movement up potentially, maybe. But when you see wicks like this, when you see these crazy wicks, that, my friend, is market maker liquidity extraction. This is a completely market maker led coin. Oh man. Oh bruh. Oh my God. Yeah, this is a completely market maker led coin. You can still play these, right? You can still play these, right? But this will be, I would say, all right, let me see what I can do from here. It's not really easy to actually get to anything now. If it regains the 0.66110, it should move from there. But I don't see it moving anywhere higher than 0.11 maybe. I'm gonna go mass and light a candle. Ah, all right, fantastic. Thank you, appreciate it. By the way, anyone that's new here, welcome. Anyone that wants to also follow, also welcome. What is this? Canton Network. Canton. What? Like this one, Canton Network. Why have I never? I mean, cool. That looks... I mean, I don't know what you want me to do with this, man. It's launched in May. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's doing an SR flip, maybe. Maybe. I mean, you could say that this could be creating a cup and handle formation. I mean, because there's not too much information. But if it's going to be a cup and handle formation, this could potentially come down. That was stupid. Let's try that again. This could potentially do something like that. Yeah, and if we look at the measurement to its height, yeah, possible. But I would look for this to form. If we see this sort of cup and handle formation happening, you want this to come and potentially test. Potentially test the 10 cents. If it comes and tests 10 cents, that should be a good area to long. That could be a potential area where you could get some movement here. If this flips this region here, if we see something where it comes up and tests and does something like that, that is a perfect level to long. That there could be a move, and it most probably the first area that it could get to could be 0.22. Very possible. Right, let's look at some other ones. Cool, nice. Why have I never heard of it? 4.6 billion market cap. That's impressive. Right, let's look at some other ones. Polkadot. Oh my god, why are you making me look at Polkadot? I have beef with Dot. I have a serious beef with Dot, so I'm not going to speak. Are you sure you want me to look at Dot? I have beef with Dot, right? I have a beef with Dot Network. There's a guy in there that's... Oh, man. I'm going to ask you, do you want me to look at Dot? I'm not going to say something nice about them, all right? I'm just telling you now. Yes? No? Yes? No? All right, I'm looking at Dot, man. All right, here we go. Dot is a pile of garbage. Do not... The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. This is... Bro, some analysis says it won't last long, more than 3 to 4 months. What are you talking about? This is the worst coin I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't have to say much. Stay away from Dot. Dot is a piece of absolute garbage. It's garbage. Dot is garbage. And if you're watching, all right, you asked this. Not that I'm gonna have too much effect on a multi-billion-dollar chain, but yeah, I mean, Dot is coming to test the 0.634, 100%. In fact, I think it's gonna get to values where it might get minus. I think there might be a minus number in Dot. I think Dot, all right, has the ability to potentially go to 0. I think that's... All right, are you happy? All right, what's next? Hey, let's go. All right, the guy's been looking at self-key for ages. What's self-key? That is absolutely terrible. What is this? I've never seen anything so bad in my life. I don't know what it is, man. What's the ticker? I don't know what the ticker is. If it's something that anyway, whatever. GRT, let's look at GRT. You keep looking at self-key. I don't know what the ticker is. Tell me what the ticker is and I'll look at it. And stop spamming, please. GRT, let's look at GRT. All right. Let's look at Tether. It's not the best, but whatever. Hello? Nah. Oh, man. Um, God, GRT, what's happened to GRT? Oh my lord. I mean, it's uh, uh all right. Look, this is what I'll say about GRT, right? You have to go with trend as your friend until the very end, right? Trend is your friend until the very end. There we go. There's a bit of a trend going on. Let's keep that one. That's better. More touchies. More touchy better, right? Look, we are. It looks like there's a bit of support here, but damn, that support is weak at AF. I'm being serious right now. Can you give me the ticker? I looked at self key. If you write it again, I'm not gonna be able to look, man. I don't know what you want me to say. This is going to most probably test the bottom of this wick, but this looks diabolical. This looks really, really bad, man. I'm so sorry. I have GRT. I found it in my wallet. I was happy at one point. Now I'm kind of depressed that I have it. Oh, whatever. I can wait. But I think it's going to get to the 0.003. Right. What are we looking at? Polkadot. Oh, I can look at Polkadot. 1 second. Let me look at Dot for a second. Someone asked me about Dot. Let me tell you. Let me look at Dot. Let's look at Dot for 1 second. Let's look at Dot. Look at this garbage. Have you seen this garbage? It's so garbage. Dot is terrible. Garbage coin. Anyway, what else do you want me to look at? Stupid garbage coin. ADA. Let's look at ADA. All right. Yeah, let's look at ADA. Look, it's going into an area of liquidity right now, right? I would say look at around the 0.32. If you want to allocate, that would be an interesting area to allocate, because it's in an area of very strong support and liquidity at the moment. So you should technically see some form of move there. But again, I will say this. Look, most coins, right? Most coins are going to come and try and test this lower wick to get completely clean this wick out from that October the 10th, whatever that was. Can't really say anything about it. I had one of the market makers have send me a message once saying, please stop talking about that thing, but whatever. Yeah, so there. I would say if we're going to see some level of bounce, look between the 3.2 to 3, around the 3.2 level, right? But in actuality, I think it's going to come and test this lower level of the wick, the 0.2751. We'll see. There's still a chance that it could come and test the prior range. The prior range would be 0.4835. If Bitcoin starts to pump, that will be the area. But I think it could come down and test these areas here as well. Yeah. What else? Lava. What's lava? What is lava? Lava. It's strange. When I start doing looking at actual coins, people leave. Can I ask a question? Who else is on the live at this present moment? Who's live? Let's do that. I can't do anything with lava, man. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do with lava. What do you want me to do with lava? There's nothing to do. There's not enough time in the coin. Yeah, there's nothing that can be done. This needs time to move. I looked at ADA. Look at Doge. Oh, man. I think Doge is going to be terrible right now. Let's look at Doge. There we go. Um, it's just a straight shot down, man. Look at that. I would say I mean, like there is support here. There is support at where it's at the moment. But I would say, gee, oh man, I would be very surprised if that holds. Like really surprised if that holds. I would say just look for the level of support here. I mean, even this is like, it's so messy. These type of coins are so messy. I would say, yeah, look here. There. Yeah. I would say if you're looking for this thing is gonna go sub 1 cent. I think this could go sub 1 cent. Let's look at Sui. Sui. Bum. Where's my Sui? There we go. All right. Cool. Look, so Sui has done what we expected it to do, which is pretty good, right? I said that this area was going to be a level of liquidity, and it's come and it's looking okay. That's looking pretty good, actually. Look, it's come in, sweep this level of liquidity perfectly. We've had four entrances into the liquidity as well, and it's holding the upper range. So if this, I would bet my bottom dollar has relative strength towards Bitcoin. So we could see a move on this towards the 1.7. I would not be surprised at that point. That would be its prior range that it needs to break, and I think it will come and try and test that. This looks relatively strong, genuinely. That looks pretty good. Let's look at the lower time frames. What's the lower time frame doing? We'll see. Look, I think we could see one more sweep of the 1.4 and then move up from there. But this looks relatively strong. This could move up for sure. Speak. What would you mind looking? 1 second. Echelon Prime. Is Prime the ticker? Let's look at Eli's Prime. Is that it? Is that the one? Yeah. All right. Okay. Where is the US dollar? Let's look at Kraken. I don't like Kraken too much. There's not enough volume on it. Anyway, it's the only one we have. Let's have a look. Yeah, the volume is really crap on Kraken, so we're going to see some disjointed bar data. Not bad. Not bad at all. But I will say this. Look here. This is much cleaner, right? It is in... Where are we? Look at that. Perfect. Right. Look, we are in an area of strong liquidity, right? So, two things can happen with this. This is a much cleaner chart to look at. We could see a wick down and then the regain of this, and this should go and possibly test the prior range up to 1.17, right? It is a real possibility that this could happen. So it could go down, it could do something like this. Go down, do a bit of a wick, come back, and then hold support here, and then start to move up. And if these two supports are held, this and this will rally. That's what I would say about Prime. Looks good. I always like Eli's options. It's on Coinbase. I know, but I can't see it on the thing. I always like Eli's choices. He has good sort of technical analysis. EOS. Okay, let's look at EOS. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the tokenomics. I mean, that's why it's holding so strong. There we go. EOS network. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god! Don't mean to laugh, but wow. Like, especially on the stream, it looks like it's about to like fall on my head. 1 second. EOS looks terrible. EOS looks absolutely terrible. All right, let me see what I can do here. This looks, I mean, like, we're looking 0.055. I would suspect it's gonna get there. This level here. Yeah, that's where the liquidity is. And let me draw the bar. There. I would suspect it's gonna come there. This looks. Oh man, that looks. Oh, wow, that looks. Elio Trades was helping push EOS. Yeah. Well, he was probably paid for it. He's probably paid for it. You have to be careful with those type of things. You have to, yeah, definitely paid for it. Damn. Optimism. Let's have a look at optimism. Oh, OB. Let's have a look at that. Oh my! I don't want to look at these graphs, man. I can see why people are leaving. It's depressing. What is that? What is that? That is wild how bad that is. That's wild. Okay. All right. I don't know what you want me to say, man. It looks terrible. That's not what you want. Do you want short-term play or long-term play? I don't know what you want me to say about this. This looks absolutely terrible. It looks. I mean, like, the thing is, right? Why would you buy Optimism if you have Ethereum? Can you explain that to me? That's my question right now. Let's look at QNT. QNT. Let's see what QNT is up there. I'll have it 1 second. Let me look at QNT and I'll look at ZBAC in a second. Layer 2s are going to ETH isn't expensive anymore. No. There's no literally layer 2s on ETH are pointless completely. Right now, I don't see a reason why anyone would even consider going into. Wait, where is this? Why is Binance not in this anymore? Why is it not working on Binance? Is it not on Binance? But it's against Bitcoin. I don't want to against Bitcoin. USDT. All right, whatever. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay. Look, this is all right. This is a bit better. I mean, it's still terrible. Don't get me wrong. In the grand scheme of things, it's absolutely terrible. But look, this is the level of liquidity that we have here. All right. That's key level of liquidity there. And if we look at, I mean, I'm sure you're looking at short term, right? Short term, this doesn't look great. You know, wasn't able to break the previous range. Did this break the previous range? No. So look for. Okay, the way you play these, right? The way you play these, right? I agree. 199%. Yeah, there's no point. The way you play this, if this can close above the $0.69.92, right? It actually has a day close above that. Yeah. Or a 4-hour close. Maybe a 2-hour close as well. Yeah, 4-hour close. If we get a 4-hour confirmation of a close above the 69, right? And then it comes and breaks the prior range, the 71.55, then you go long. Otherwise, this is you short this. Every pump is a short. Until we potentially can come and test this 68.88. But to be honest, again, every coin is going to come and try and test this 63.89. Eventually, it will come here. This here will be a buying point for me. Can't look at those charts, honestly. I can't. It's people. That's why people are leaving. They're just like, what are we looking at here? It's down 98%. Anyone else? What are we looking at? Tell me. Oh, I mean, at least I could get to maybe 300,000 likes. I don't know why I'm not it's fine. Where can we DCA into Chainlink? Okay, when you DCA into Chainlink, right? You DCA into Chainlink when Bitcoin has its final. I mean, it depends. Are you looking long term? GRT looks terrible. ICP looks terrible. Poly, what's Poly? What's Poly? Polygon. You mean Matic? All right, let's look at Chainlink. Let's see what Chainlink's up to. I should have a link here somewhere. By the way, if you guys are looking to trade the short term, right? I do want to show you something. Right? If you go to the bottom of my video on either on the tube or on my channel, this and the links and this and the other, right? I've done a deal on my channel, this and the links and this and the other, right? Right, 1 second. How do I set myself up? I've done a. Oh, there we go. Right. If you go here to the bottom of the chart and you see this, if you go to the daily chain, right? There, I've done a deal with MEXC. I'm just outright telling you straight up, right? Done a deal with MEXC where most creators that push the exchanges actually get a return from it. I've had a deal with them and I said, look, I want to give something back to my community because, they're supporting me. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They're here every day. They're here when even the market is down. You guys are incredible and all this kind of stuff. How can I do a deal where I give all of the things that I would potentially give back so they get basically the, what they can get the maximum benefit? And the maximum benefit is this. On about 95% of all the tokens, you will get 0 trading fees. 0. That's what I'm able to give you. You will get absolute 0 trading fees for using this. And there is no sort of issue with it because it's MEXC, one of the largest, in fact, the largest non-KYC exchange out there. And if you don't like it, you can leave. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't do anything to you. It's literally a pure benefit to you guys. Absolute pure benefit. If you guys want to utilize it, it's there. It's in the links. You can go and see it. It's all that thing. It's just easy and all that kind of stuff. That's why I wanted to tell you guys and moving on from there. I just want to do it because I want you to benefit. Because if you see in other exchanges that it costs a bomb to leverage trade, there's no cost in using it from you. 95% of the cases. Right. Anything else? What am I looking at right now? Can you look at Rivian stock and give them Rivian as in the car? Palantir. I'm not looking at actual stocks at the moment. That will be later on. Let the new year break in and look. Oh yeah, Chainlink. All right, that's the thing. Chainlink. Let's look at Chainlink. All right, let's look at Chainlink. Short-term Chainlink is looking good. Short-term Chainlink is looking good. I will say this though. All right. This is where I would say you could potentially get a move in Chainlink. Yeah. This is the golden pocket for Chainlink. If Chainlink breaks the 12.244, but it has to close underneath it, then it's going in to test this pocket of liquidity here, and most probably will come, probably test around the 11.8, around that 11.88, 11.9. Can you explain why it looks good? The reason why it looks good is because you see multiple areas, right? You see this, look. When you see something like this, when you see a chart like this, where it's come and tested this area of liquidity and seen growth from it every single time it's tested it, it means that there's liquidity here. And it means it's strong level of support. So I'm expecting it to possibly come and test it again and then have another rally from there. There will be a point where if Bitcoin, although I will say, if Bitcoin starts to really break down, which I'm expecting it not to be honest, I think this Bitcoin will have some form of rally, possibly tomorrow, right? Possibly tomorrow. Then this thing could potentially even just not break its previous high, right? Previous low. And if you look, higher high, higher low, higher high, and it's come back and unfortunately not being able to break the previous range high. But if this holds the previous low, if it can hold it above that or even come back and test this liquidity, it should rally up. I'm talking about small movements here. I'm not talking about large movements. I'm not talking about large movements back to all-time high. I'm talking about things where you could potentially see a move. And if you look at the lower time scale here, right? Lower time market shift that you can see at this point here. Look, if you look carefully, here it is. The liquidity on the lower scale is here. Look, right here. And if you go into the larger time span, there you go. So most probably this will come in, test this zone here to see if there's any liquidity left. It'll come in to see that liquidity. If it finds liquidity, if it's actually there, it has not been completely exhausted out, it will rally back up. And if it breaks the previous high on the rally back up and it closes above it, then it's a definite long. Then for me, it's a definite long, and then you can play the things there. These will be short-term aspects. Also, if you want to go and check out our pro group, you're more than welcome to, or you can check out the Learn by Alvarez. It's the same links. You can see it there. You go to Learn by Alvarez and ask about the pro group, and I will be putting you in there accordingly to what's going on. That's why I say it's strong. It has levels of liquidity that it's obeying, and it's actually seeing real growth and movement from there. You see it. Look. This is why when I look at a graph like this and you've looked at it along enough and you see what I just told you, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. Do you know what I mean? Zcash. Let's have a look at Zcash. See what Zcash is doing. Zcash looks, oh man, that's amazing. I will say this though. Look, when you see movements like this, right? When you see movements like that, this is great. But this for me, where are we here? You normally get a retrace to the 50%. So this, I would look to reallocate into this. To me, I'm just going to say this. I'm not saying do this, right? I'm not saying do this, right? I'm saying this. I would be in the mind, to look at the lower time frame. I would be in the mind to potentially, oh God, if it loses that, 1 second. I mean, look at this. It just looks like a massive level of distribution, but I would be in the mind to potentially short this. Not here, maybe a retest of the EMA, or if it can't break its previous high. 1 second. This could rally back up and potentially, this is why right now it's at a really it's at support, right? And it's a potential strong support, right? If it cannot break its previous high, so the the 538. This could rally from here. We'll see. If it breaks that 200-day EMA and closes below it on the 15-minute tomorrow, then I think it's a short. Definite short. Yeah. I would say this is looking like a potential short to me. At least, usually what you get when you get a large move on this level, right? When you get this large wick, you usually get a retrace back into the 50% of that wick, right? So we'll see. We'll see. What's the week look like? I mean, Zcash looks insane. So, like, I will say this: that even if this pump and it doesn't get to all-time high and shows a like, you just have to monitor this carefully. If it cannot break its previous all-time high, previous high, then you're looking to short this thing aggressively. But what's wild? Privacy coins, and I just want to say this, right? I want to say this: privacy coins. And I'm just gonna say it outright: privacy coins only really do well when markets end, because strangely enough, people don't want people to know what they have, what they've sold, and what coin that they're extracting from and extracting liquidity from this market. That's why they do well. I don't think long term this is going to do well, to be honest. It defies the actual nature of what blockchain and cryptocurrency is. That's what I would say. It's at the of a parallel channel. It's not only that. Most of the time, there's a retrace back to its 50% level, or even a test of its prior range, right? Which is the SR flip that it hit, the area where it's actually broken. Thing. We'll see. Let's see if this happens. I'm suspecting a pullback in this, but be careful. We'll see. Yeah, I'm suspecting a pullback in this. All right, we'll see. What else? What else are we looking at? I looked at lava. What are you looking at? At this present moment, I've allocated my coins, what I wanted to do, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this move up on Bitcoin, and then everything else will move from there. This, of course, I mean, you could also say that this thing could do this, right? Usually when you have very strong moves like this and a strong coin that has a good movement, it could also do something like that, where it can go down and then settle at the 382 as well, and then move from there. That could be a potential area to get in, and the 50% could be a potential area to get in. If you have an idea of if you want to short this, potentially, we'll see. I'm not too sure if it's still the right place to do so. Your TP points are basically your fib levels. All right. What else? Sol. Let's look at Sol. I'll look at Sol and then I'm out of here. All right. Where is the Sol? By the way, if you guys want to be definitely answered, you could also, subscribe and do all that kind of stuff as well. It costs like £1 or something. You're a good man. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it. It's very kind to hear someone saying something nice. I think all the haters have left this market. They came into my live, threw some insults at me, and then disappeared. All right. Let's look at Sol. That's not what I wanted to do. Sol's graph is messy. Okay. Look. So, with Sol, Sol's one's hard. Okay, what I would say with Sol, right, is I'm expecting a look. We've technically I'm just trying to understand what the best way to do Sol here is. It's messy Sol, because technically it's a low high, right? It's not being able to break its prior range. However, It has found liquidity and moved out of that and rallied from that point. But the rally, it looks like more of steps rather than a elevator up, and you always want to be on the elevator. And this kind of looks like there's an elevator going down, right? Alvarez, what's your thoughts on cryptocurrency? It's a bit cooked at the moment. Just low liquidity. You're no crypto king, but you're not bad. Thank you so Damn. Damn. Yeah. Sol is a bit risky at the moment. It's risky. Like, it's very messy. Sol is extremely messy at the moment. But it looks like an elevator down to me. A little bit. Because if you look at this, I mean, you know, the steps and then the elevator down. Unless it finds support above the previous low, if as a 4-hour close, are we on the day? We're on the day, right? If the day closes within this box, this is going down. Let's say it that way. And I would say the 120 is a possibility that it could achieve. Sol's problematic at the moment, but it has such good liquidity here. It's hard. Sol, I can't, like, Sol doesn't have a real direction. That's what I would say. Yeah, it doesn't have a real direction. We're not anywhere near a cross of the stochastic either. The RSI looks meh. Yeah, it's meh. I mean, if you want to really be, like, potentially we have had some form of a breakout. Nah, there's no real direction on Sol. Do you think it's bullish or bearish if the Supreme Court rules tariffs illegal? It's bearish AF. It's massively bearish. Massively bearish. Don't ask me to look at Polkadot. I have beef with Dot, so don't. There is nothing good I'm going to be saying about Polkadot. That's all I'm going to say. It's massively bearish, because what will happen if its class is being illegal is that they'll have to pay that back. And all that will happen, this graph that I showed you previously, this bad boy here, you know, where'd it go? Where's my bad boy graph? I don't know where it's gone. Was it here? No, not that one. Oh, it's on the 1 second. Because this will happen. This is with the problem. What will happen is that the treasury, the Fed treasury will have to start allocating its funds into the market again, which will be in the form of paying back the people that they got paid the tariffs, which is usually, you know, a whole bunch of consortium of people and countries and various other things. And when that happens, the Fed is going to look to refill their coffers, as they say, their bank account, and that will actually pull liquidity out of the market again aggressively. I would say that is really negative, a very, very negative thing. All right, guys, look, absolutely appreciate everything, right? I appreciate all the people that came, joined, left, and did all the things, all the gifts. Thank you so much, Brooks. Thank you so much, User362, and all that kind of stuff. You guys have been incredible. And thank you so much for all the other people that sent their hard-earned cash towards me. You guys are absolutely incredible. I hope this was fun. If you guys want to follow, make sure you follow. If you guys want to check out the links, check the links. If you want to check out Mexi, I am the only creator doing that. The only creator. I want everyone to understand that. And because I'm doing something good, people will probably not utilize it and pay all the fees to all the other people's, right? So that's what I would say. All right, you guys have been incredible, amazing, awesome, coolio, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, take care, peace, affection, all that kind of jazz. All right, to all you guys as well on X and on YouTube and everything else, you guys are incredible. I appreciate you all a lot. You guys have been absolutely incredible for coming and joining me and watching my videos. You go should check out my daily updates. I'm doing daily updates now on YouTube as well. So press the bell button to make sure that it's all there. If you guys want to also check out the pro group, you can go and do so in the Learn by Alvarez, which is in the links. And if you want to check out the Mexi, go there. It's 0 fees, man. It's 0 fees, man. I don't know what else to say to you guys. 0, all right? If you don't want to join it, then don't join it and pay all the fees to everyone else. If you do want to join it, then join it. All right, lots of love, affection.